Hey, Bows and Beauties. Let me ask you something. Have you had someone do just enough to keep your attention when you're dating? They'll call just enough, send a couple texts, but they never do enough to really move things forward? That's breadcrumbing, and it's keeping you stuck and stagnant in situationships that really aren't going. Breadcrumbing is similar to dangling a carrot in front of a really hungry horse, leading them in and reeling them in with the promise of a big payoff or something they really want, and never intending to really fulfill their appetite. That's breadcrumbing. Now, how do you identify it? Some of the signs are inconsistent communication. Sometimes they text back instantly, other times they disappear for days. They never follow through. They make plans but always cancel or quote unquote forget. I would say lots of compliments but no real effort. So they hype you up but don't really invest actually in getting to know you beyond the surface level. You're pretty, you're handsome, you're so fine, you have a nice car, just those type of very surface level things. They avoid serious conversations. If you bring up something like, where is this going, or where do you see a future with us, they change the subjects or they backtrack at what it is. Why do people do it? This doesn't make sense. Why would you meet someone, take time to get to know someone, and really not have any intentions on moving things forward? Not that every person you meet is a promise of a relationship. Everyone is not going to fit. It doesn't work that way. That's the benefit of getting to know someone and dating. But once you're getting into a dating situation, you've been talking to someone for a couple weeks, a couple months, and you're realizing again that they're doing this, they're very hot and cold. It's probably the fact that they're not 100% all in. So people do this for various reasons, right? None of them are good, but it's several possibilities. One could be they like the attention without commitment. Unfortunately, they like knowing that somebody's going to be there. Somebody can stroke their ego. It's great to have a conversation. Somebody really desires them and wants them, right? The other thing is they're keeping their options open. Although they may not be able to go all in on you, maybe they're not over an ex, maybe they're dating someone else and they're really hoping that that thing works out with that person, but they really don't want to fully let you go, right? They also could be emotionally unavailable. This happens a lot. Sometimes people do not heal before they try to go into the next relationship, and they really want to maybe even be with somebody else, but they're holding on and really harboring some negative feelings or emotions, and are afraid to really let their walls down to welcome somebody else in. And then it could be their ego. Some people breadcrumb because they really just desire control of the situation. They like being wanted, and they feel like as long as they keep the upper hand and have you desiring and craving them more than they are you, then they are in a good position. Sometimes it's a mental game. If you suspect that somebody is breadcrumbing you, you have to address it early so that you don't continue to invest time, energy, money, all of the things into something that is not going to be fruitful. I would start the conversation and say, hey, I noticed that you have been a little bit inconsistent with your communication and how often we're spending time together and or communicating. I'm looking to date someone long term with the intentions of moving into a marriage. Is that something that you also desire? And if so, can you see that process happening with me? Very direct question. If they dodge the conversation or get defensive, you have your answer. There's no need to move on. Step 2, stop accepting the bare minimum. You have to make sure that you are holding firm to your standards and the things that you desire in your potential partner so that you can be consistent and ensure that you're not dragging things along. So if they're inconsistent, they're not making an effort, they're not prioritizing you, don't make excuses for them. Don't go by someone's words. Go by their actions. If they say, oh my gosh, I miss you so much, I can't wait to see you, but don't follow up with any type of plans and still don't make an effort to actually spend time with you for weeks and weeks on end, that's a sign. Their actions are speaking louder than their words. Listen to what they're not saying and read in between the lines. Step 3, walk away with confidence. You are an amazing person. I'm sure you are. You're getting to a space where you are confident in who you are and what you bring to the table. You don't have to settle for the bare minimum. You deserve someone who's going to choose you fully and not someone who's going to string you along. You're not a toy. Don't allow people to yo-yo you around. Walk away with confidence. I know it's hard. I've had to do it. I've been in your shoes. It is hard, but it is necessary. You are keeping yourself stagnant if you allow this person to keep you in limbo. We don't do lukewarm here. You have to be hot or you have to be cold. You either are in or you're out. You have to set your boundaries, and this is the time for you to walk away once you have your answer. I know that it feels difficult. You're going to miss the sound of their voice, your funny little inside jokes, and the breadcrumbs of times that you did spend together, and the little nuances that you've built up in your mind of the potential of this person. But their potential has not come to fruition, and we cannot give it any more time and energy. You deserve so much more. If they don't respect your time and your emotions and what you want, it's time to disengage. It's time to unfollow. Sometimes you even need to block. I'm the queen of the block ministry. I block people with no problem. For me, it is setting a clear boundary, and I don't want to backtrack. I don't want someone to have access to me that is going to be emotionally manipulative and try to weasel their way back in. I don't do it. You have to decide what's best for you, but in order to have the real, true, authentic love that you deserve, you have to set up your boundaries, and you have to be ready to move on and open yourself up for other opportunities of people who really are going to value you for you. If you're tired of dating and really staying on those surface level conversations and not meeting people who are really willing to go deeper and have meaningful connections, then maybe it's time for you to get my No More Counterfeits playbook. There's a men's version and a women's version with over 500 questions for you to ask current and potential partners about what their expectations are. There's over 12 different topics from parenting, relationships, romance, intimacy, career matters, faith, values, a wide gamut of questions that you can and should ask anyone that you're considering building a life with. Well, guys, I'm so grateful that you tuned in for the channel today. Let me tell you something. You are stronger than even you know, and you are powerful beyond imagination. I want you to walk forward in your power and in your glory and know that you're making the right choice for you. And I'm super proud of you. Until next time, be blessed.